Jeff is a patient of mine, had a transplant several years ago. The hairline that we designed then looks totally natural. There's an opportunity today to add density in the front and in these channels and maybe reinforce here. Also an opportunity to cover an area in the crown that we didn't address the first time. The character of your hair, I mean, it's wavy, but it's very fine. Individuals that have fine, straight hair tend to want to do a second procedure to add density. If you had curly, wavy hair, you'd be less likely to be back here.
Yep. There's some smaller hairs you can see that I kind of wanted to catch up to a little bit.
Okay.
Just like I said, it's a little narrow in here, so that would be goal number 1. A little bit of density right here as well. It's definitely maybe thinned out a little bit over the years. And then, like you said, addressing an area we did not before. For some coverage back there.
The little tiny hairs that you see, sometimes referred to as sentinel hairs,
Yep.
and they're implanted by design.
Yeah.
In other words, when we did a transplant, we created subtle irregularities so that there's no giveaway that this is ever a transplant.
Yes.
That's what's really important. That's the aesthetic, artistic judgment to have this look perfectly natural. Nobody's questioning that you ever had a hair transplant.
Absolutely.
So this is good. So as a close-up then, if we come in here, we'll add some more volume here, get a little bit throughout. Turn a little bit this way. I like the shape. I think adding density in here, and turn the other side, and adding density in here is a valuable decision. And give us a spin around 180. So we got work to do back here. We'll fill in less dense in the crown, but we'll give you some density back here. This is a zero fade haircut, and the FUE procedure gives you the opportunity to do this haircut. So the advantage of the FUE procedure is this haircut. That's the main reason to do it. We still do a fair number of linear extractions for guys keep the hair longer.
Yep.
The FUT procedure, but for you, I'm going to say something. You're a cohort of young men that want to keep their hair short. This is the right move.
Yeah, exactly. That's super important to me to keep that flexibility. I always do like a pretty high and tight kind of buzz look.
Looks great.
Yeah.
So what we'll do now is draw in a hairline. Make sure you feel comfortable with that. We maybe lower it a little bit, and we'll make that plan happen.
Awesome. Can't wait. Thank you.
Okay. Ultimately, we're following the natural contour of your frontalis muscle. You never had a hairline that went straight across. We're not doing that today. I like the naturalness. This is an opportunity to add density. I also want to point out that whatever we do is a collaborative effort. So this is initial draft, right? And your commentary is important. I think bringing it down a fraction. I also think reinforcing these channels that makes sense in terms of potential insurance against future loss. You'll always have hair in the channels. We don't want straight. We want subtle zigs and zags, subtle irregularities. What do you think of that? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that's actually exactly what I was hoping for. My biggest concern was that my front part of the hair was a little too narrow, and I think that shape that you drew in kind of addresses that. Okay. So I think it looks great.
Good. So we took the time to draw in this plan, both of our input here. You feel comfortable with this?
I do. I think it looks great.
All right.
And I can't wait.
So what we'll do is, this is the plan we're going to follow. So I like to say these are the blueprints, but the blueprints are actually printed on your head. And the goal is going to be about 50% of what we do is going to be reinforcing here, and 50% is going to be to the crown, and it's going to blend in together. Good plan?
Perfect. I think that's exactly what I was looking for.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're about to measure the density and the elasticity of the skin back here. So just stand still. And what we're doing is looking at number of follicles per square centimeter, which is 82 on the center, which is great. And 80 on the sides, which is also really good. Now we're gonna measure the elasticity, which is kind of the stretchiness of the skin. Thank you. And you can have this.
I'll hold that for you.
Great. And 20 in the center, and I already have marks over here. And 20 as well on the side, which is great stretchiness for healing process.
What I've got here is a tiny retractable sapphire device I use this pen, so to speak, to create the angles and the direction of every single hair follicle. So I pre-make the recipient openings, and then we're going to tuck the follicles in. How close should the hair be to the scalp? What angle should it be, left, right, up, down? That's what I'm doing now. So I'm going in between some of the existing hairs, Jeff. Trying not to cut them, having the hair follicles, controlling the flow of the hair follicles. That's what we're aiming to do now. You'll get a chance to see this in sort of in its intermediate phase before we start placing the follicles in, to make sure we've accomplished what you're looking for.
Awesome.
The precision, attention to detail is so critical. It's not there's no cookie cutter approach.
Yep.
So at this point, we're going to start the numbing in the back to get ready for extractions.
The extractions one by one is the whole objective with follicular unit excision. And since Jeff had a prior procedure, we want to carefully avoid over extracting or over harvesting from the donor. So carefully going above, below, and in between the existing extractions. We don't want to deplete the density of the donor area. But this is looking great. Quality of the follicles looks excellent.
All right, Jeff, so we just finished extracting. You had a nice break, some lunch, and now we're going to get started on the last part of the day, which is implantation.
Okay.
Everyone is finished looking at all the grafts under the microscope, dividing them. They look nice and robust, and we got more than we needed, so
Awesome.
we're ready for
That's
the
good
last
news.
set.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Per our discussion this morning, we really reinforced that front, bolstered the density throughout that frontal portion, that frontal third, and probably close to 2/3 of what we did was to give some coverage in the crown, and that'll give you a lot more flexibility moving forward. How was your day?
Honestly, it was amazing. I mean, the staffing here, every step of the way, they check in with you to make sure that you're comfortable. If you need water, if you need a break, if you need to change positions, they're just the nicest people. And that coupled with your attention to detail and your care to making sure it looks natural and exactly what I'm looking for was honestly just the best. So I really am so happy. I'm so grateful.
Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure working with you. This is going to be a home run. So we got just a little more to finish up. Typically, we ask all of our patients to come back the next morning, so we will see you tomorrow morning, do a careful hair wash, but everything is going just as it should.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. This gives us an idea of where we implanted the follicles today. We also got a substantial number in the crown. Lift your head up a little bit and kind of slowly turn around. All right. So you can see where we got the hairs from. We didn't overdo it. You had some extraction evidence from first transplant, but it's hard to even see that. We went a little below and above and within. Look up for just a minute. So if you turn to your right, so the crown area, we really addressed this almost like a pear shape, broader at the bottom and then tapering into the forelock in the front. It's a matter of time for it to all grow in, but it's going to look natural. I'm very happy with the results so far.
Awesome. I am so excited. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure, Jeff. Thank you.